this is Ankita Pahwa, and you're watching Follow Startups. Most of us have already imagined a world where AI seamlessly integrates into our work, maybe even taking over and replacing humans completely. While that still remains uncertain, what's clear today is that our guest isn't just imagining, he's crafting that very future. Animesh Samuel, with a solid 23 years in tech product and marketing, is the CEO and co-founder of E42.ai. While the chatter is all about chatbots like GPT, E42.ai is turning the tables by empowering businesses to create a range of their own AI co-workers. He's right here with me to unveil the hows, whys, and wonders of this AI revolution. Hi, Animesh. Welcome to Follow Startups. We are thrilled to have you here today.
Thank you, Ankita. It's great to be here today.
So, building AI workers for enterprises, it's a literal dream for some and a potential game changer for others. But before we dive into all of that, why don't you introduce yourself quickly?
Thanks, Ankita. So I'm Animesh, and I, like you already said, I'm CEO and co-founder here at E42. My passion always has been, products and building quality products for the enterprise, for businesses, and how businesses can optimize their functions, and how can they optimize their process and get better output out of them. I'm a mechanical engineer, so I come from that era where machines revolutionized the way we as humans we lived our lives. And today we see that there's an opportunity where these machines can do much more than take our physical abilities and convert that into useful work, right? Or empower us to do more physically. And then in between somewhere there came the computer revolution also, where the computers took out, could showed us that they could do much more computation than humans could do. And now, fortunately, we are in the AI era where we're talking about autonomous beings that we can transfer our intelligence to. And obviously, like we saw in the previous two generations, these intelligent or autonomous beings will be able to do much more than our human intelligence can. So I think we are living in exciting times. I'm just great to be a part of it, and yeah, and I think that E42 is just one of those disruptions, that's out there that will just taking it to the next level. We all sit on the shoulders of giants, ever since man became sapient and was able to to understand how we are different from others and able to transmit data, as sentient beings. So that's where I think we can take it to the next level right now.
So now, without any further ado, give us the lowdown on what E42.ai does and what's your core product offering.
So E42.ai is a platform. It's a platform on which enterprises and our partners can build AI co-workers. These co-workers could range from anything like AI recruiters, which could sift through resumes, understand job descriptions, select the candidates, go ahead and interview them, do an hour round of interviews, and then shortlisted candidates. We can also schedule the human interview, right? So all the way from so there are AI workers, that co-workers that help recruiters make their jobs much more efficient, make sure that they don't lose the right candidate, and so on and so forth, right? Similarly, there are lower end tasks also, like AI gatekeepers, that will recognize you. It will check if you have an appointment with someone in the building, and if it doesn't recognize you, it'll ask you for some documentation, and match your face with the face on that document, make sure you're the right person, and allow that person to go and meet someone, provided they have an appointment. And similarly, if you're carrying goods, it can look at your delivery note and make sure that you are actually ordered for that, and then it'll guide that uh, to the right location. So all of this can be done by AI coworkers that sit on top of kiosks, that can be on WhatsApp, that can be on email, on pretty much all the communication channels that we as humans use. These AI co-workers that are built on the 42 platform can use those very same channels, engage humans, engage other AI workers, and execute tasks. So we're talking about not just great tactical efficiencies, or tactical wins, by optimizing these processes end to end, um, and automating them. You know, that automation includes both the robotic part, which is the repetitive part, as well as the cognitive part, which is the part where at certain points, these AI co-workers have to make decisions. So it can, you can have workflows which comprise of both these parts, and you can totally close out a task, right? And I think one very important, or one example would be, which I would also like to highlight, is that of the AI AP executive, right? So what this AP executive does is it receives invoices, from your vendors. It then unpacks that. So it could receive it by email. It'll open the email. It'll understand that there's an invoice. It will read that invoice, all the content of it, and it will double check, or there will be a 2 or 3 way matching that, have you received the goods, or have has that, whatever the conditions being met, and then it will make that payment out to the vendor at the right time. So account payable is always about making sure that your vendors, don't get irate, and yet you don't pay the money out too soon, right? So that's a very critical part of the account payable process, so which is all taken care of by the AI AP executive, right? And the beauty is, when this gets coupled with the AI AR executive, the account receivable executive, you can actually control or have a much stronger hold on your finances. And for large companies, that's a big win. So you're talking about tactical wins, and that can later on also become strategic wins, because when with every AI interaction, you enrich these entities, and that makes your enterprise as a whole very intelligent. And we strongly believe here at E42 that, and if you see, there are a lot of studies out there which show that if an enterprise is not intelligent, it will not be able to survive in the next 3 to 4 years. So I think it's not just about being able to manufacture goods at very low costs and be competitive in the market, but it's actually about intelligence that will make enterprises of the future, survive.
So help me get this right. Okay, so suppose I am an enterprise looking to automate various processes in my organization, in departments like marketing, HR, like you said, customer support, sales, etc., like the basic functions that every organization commonly require. And with this set of demands, I come to E42 to provide me with a comprehensive solutions for each of these functions. So how will we go about it? Like, are these platforms readily available? Are these AI workers readily available for selling and implementation?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we've got like a marketplace. We don't actually build these AI workers. These AI workers are either built by our partners. We've got a partner ecosystem, or by our and or by the company themselves. So like if you came to me and you said that my enterprise, these are the processes, and we want to automate, these processes first. So that doesn't happen, unfortunately, because typically, the enterprises, when it's a new technology, nobody goes to a startup, and because what I'm talking about doesn't even exist in their world today, right? So it's not something that they will be looking to buy. So it's but yes, so they end up, typically, enterprises end up buying what's being sold to them, and typically they will be point solutions, which might give you a tactical edge for a period of time, but actually that's not going to be really beneficial in the long run. So just to answer your point about your question about how do we implement it. So like I said, we've got a platform on which there are a lot of AI workers that are already pre-built by our partners. So you can come and you can select and customize it and use it, very quickly, deploy it for your use cases. Or you can, if there is a lot of solutioning required, then we can point you to the right partner based on, which process you want to automate. Like partners like Adrenaline, for example, have more than 1,600 customers in the HR space, right? So they are very well reputed when it comes to HRMS and all of that. So they can immediately, a partner like that would be the best partner if you want to automate any HR processes, and they can, go live with you with a process, with any automation in HR, say within a maximum of a week, right? So it can be really fast, enterprise level implementations. Yeah.
So give us a sneak peek into your target market and the kind of clients you serve today with E42.
So Ankita, we serve clients ranging from, the largest consulting companies like Accenture, the largest telecom giants like Tata Communications, large pharma companies, large automobile manufacturers, all of that true. But having said that, that was just the beginning. So with any kind of new technology, and especially when it comes to AI, those would be the early adopters as it is, because they are the ones who are more aware and in the know of things. But having said that, those were just the early wins. But today we have customers. We even have a lot of startups that use our platform to make their products look better, look good. If they want AI powered capabilities within their products, we do work with a lot of banks, a lot of institutions where they're more conscious about their data, and they don't want to engage with on the cloud offerings and point solutions, because all of our AI models and everything that we have, our LLMs, everything is proprietary, and it's all in house. So we don't have to, actually we can containerize it and give very secure kind of an offering to any kind of any of our customers. So yeah, so in many ways, what we're talking about is um, is an whole ecosystem which will help provide customers with the best service in the shortest time.
So could you share some of the existing customers you have from these markets with us?
Sure, Ankita. So, like I said, so in telecommunications, for example, we have customers like Tata Communications. Then, through some of our partners, we also have various other customers like Airtel Africa, and a few others in the space. Similarly in manufacturing, we have customers, like Mahindra and Mahindra, which is the largest SAP implementation that they have done in this part of the world, actually, and all of their and many of their group companies as well. In the consulting firms, we have firms like Accenture that use us. That we spoke about the AI recruiter. They use our platform to build the AI recruiter. So yeah, so and across the board. So there, I mean, there would be we have over 70 customers ranging, like I said, from these large companies to really younger companies, startups. Like Monami, which is a mental well-being space. There's a startup in that space. So yeah, for employee well-being. So there are a lot of and fintech unlimited, which is in the finance space. So they also use our platform and build amazing products and services for their customers as well.
Awesome. Hey, when was the business established?
The company, we started R&D in 2012, but we were mostly in R&D for the first 6 years. So today we hear of ChatGPT. We had launched something called Pooch, where people could ask a question and get an answer, because we
Oh,
needed data, and that's why we know what ChatGPT is up to, because this is a way how you get the data to train your models, right? So we needed a lot of Q&A pairs and a lot of data. So that's how we train. That's why we can give this entire offering that we have on prem, and that's why we don't use the cognitive services of any cloud provider. We've got all our own cognitive services, and that's why cloud providers love us, because then they want to co-sell with us, and then
hmm.
they want to introduce us to their customers, for requirements. When the customer says that, can you give us a solution that they're okay to put on their cloud, but they don't want to take the GPTs or any of those cognitive services, so then we become a preferred choice.
So if I ask you to define the current stage of your business for the audience, what will that be?
Ankita, today we are at very exciting times. So when it comes to a startup journey, it's this point where we are at the beginning of hockey stick curve, what we call, right? Because we've defined the product market fit, we've had our ups and downs. We tried different pricing models, for example, and we've come to one which is making the product sort of fly off the shelf, right? So we've got a good uh, all the models, whether it's our GTM, whether it's our license pricing, whether it is our partner ecosystem, all of those things. And we have proven the three V's, what we call the versatility, as in, can the same platform be used across verticals, performing different functions or automating different functions? So that has been proven. Then we have proven that it is validated by the best in the industry, by our customers, like I mentioned earlier, all the large AI savvy companies, I'd like to call them. And it is also verified by the likes that we are on reports that are featured by the likes of IDCs, Gartners, We are part of the NASCOM Deep Tech Club, and also validated by all the large partner companies that we have, like SAP's, Microsoft, all of them recognizing us with awards and recognition. So I think we've done all of that. So the stage that we are in is pure growth, because we've got a product market fit. We are versatile, validated, verified product, and all we need now is achieve scale. So I think we are well poised for that, and that's the stage that we are in.
So, like you said, you cater to a range of distinct businesses, ranging from big MNCs to SME startups, which makes me even more curious to know about your revenue model. So, what's that like for E42?
So our revenue model is purely license based. A license is basically you can build an AI worker. You can add whatever features, functionalities, languages, whatever you want into that AI worker. Um, when that AI worker gets really busy, that means when it starts putting the basic server under stress. Um, so, for example, if it's used in communication, if it starts interacting with more than three humans in a given second, right, that's when it will go under stress. It will slow down. So that's the time when we say you need to go for another license, right? So it's an auto scale. So the idea is it's a win-win-win model that we have, the revenue being a license model, where we say that you can start off with a basic license of as low as $1,500 a month. But when that AI worker does the and when do you need to go for the second license is when that AI worker does the work of at least around four, about over 10 humans, right? So that is the ballpoint number where if it's going above 10 humans is when we'll recommend that you need to take another AI worker. So that's the beauty of it, which means that our customers are very excited to take on more AI workers. For every extra license, they know that that they've got really empowered teams, whichever teams are using that, because a lot of those work will be done by the AI workers. Secondly, so they are very excited. Their systems are becoming efficient, and their people are moving up the value chain. Um, then the partner is very excited to take on a new AI worker, because or add functionality, because they know that they will get their implementation cost and all of that and they can try out more features to make the AI worker more busy. And in doing so, both the enterprise will win, and therefore the partner also will get their increase in their royalty as well. So we see it as a win-win-win situation, and hence we designed our whole revenue is based on just purely license, where when the enterprise wins, the partners win, and so do we.
That's quite interesting. So, care to share some business numbers or key metrics that can help put things in perspective more in terms of your growth so far?
So key numbers, it would right now we are at an ARR of $2 million. We have order book, what you call, in terms of contracts, of at least around seven times that right now as we speak. And the most interesting number that we have is we are at 120 percent NRR, which is the revenue retention that we see is very high, because when we go in, we can land with just one AI worker, but we are among the only few. I don't know if any other B2B SaaS company can make this claim that there is no cap on the number of AI workers or kinds of AI workers that you can deploy within a particular enterprise, which means that we can keep on scaling that number. So any of our customers that are more than 3 years old have tripled their license. I know we have tripled the license revenue from them in this period. So yeah, so we have very high NRR, and I think that's one of the best numbers that.
And I hope it's only upwards from here. I don't want to keep thinking about it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and ask this. The name E42, like how did this come to be? It's very unique.
So there are many things. So one is, we are called Light. Our official legal entity is Light Information Systems. When light hits the cloud at around 42 degrees, it becomes a rainbow, right? So that is one. But the actual, and there are many others. There are many other theories of 42. If you really dig deep into it, but the real reason is, there's a book written by Douglas Adams called Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So it was written in something like 1950s, right? And the beauty about it is, at that age, Douglas Adams talks about a computer called Deep Thought. And and to imagine how, how could you even think these things at those times was, it's like we are all at awe, right? And so there, the whole, so there his concept is that all the species of that were in the universe at that time went to a computer, and this computer called Deep Thought, and asked the computer, uh, what is the answer to life, universe, and everything. So the computer took 7 million years to compute that, and then it came back with the answer, and he said the answer is 42, right? So even now on Google, if you on Chrome, if you type in the answer to life, universe, and everything, you will see a Google calculator that opens up with the number 42 written in that, right? So it's a proper calculator. So, and then you can plus two, minus two, whatever, you'll get different numbers. Yeah. So yeah, I think 42 for a lot of followers of AI fiction or literature and AI. So 42 is a great number for us, guys.
I didn't imagine such an interesting answer. Okay, so Animesh, with AI revolutionizing today's industries worldwide, tell us if E42.ai has expanded its services beyond India now.
Yeah, absolutely. As we speak, almost 50% of our revenue is from the US.
Oh,
Around 20% is from the Middle East and Europe. We just opened up Europe also very recently. We're getting great traction from there as well. And of course, yeah, the remaining is India. So India, we've got most of our customers, and of course, revenue is not that high, but yeah, we see that globally also, globally, in fact, the adoption is much faster. Given that, um there the human cost of human labor is also pretty high, right? And in fact, in some of our customers in Canada, they don't have people, enough people to run their businesses. So so we see that it's got a huge potential there. And also nowadays, we realize globally it's changing, and a lot of things are happening in terms of people themselves. After COVID, they've realized that we were not all meant to be doing this 9 to 5 job, right? Because in the last 200, 300 years, ever since the industrial revolution, as humans, we come to think that the only purpose we need to study or go to school or anything is to show up at a work or at a profession and do something 9 to 5. And we see that with COVID, there is a lot of people that are making those decisions and chasing different passions, different goals, things that they love, and it's not exactly like a job anymore. There's also a huge population of nomadic workers, people who travel and work while they travel. So we are seeing that we are in the cusp of a new world. And the markets all over are opening up. Enterprise all over have to become intelligent, otherwise they won't survive. So I think it's a golden era for E42, and I think it's also a global golden era for our species, because I think that people will have more time, and time is everything. It's the only resource that is limited to everyone in the world, and I think that's going to be appreciated more in the days to come.
so, the innovation must go on, like you said. And when the right innovation is supported with the right resources and mentorship and time, there's no going back. So, having said that, Animesh, let's talk about your investors and the total capital that you have raised so far.
Yeah, definitely. Investors, we've had an exciting bunch of investors, I must say. Our last round was Pavestone Ventures, which was basically a bunch of investors from Hyderabad, and all of them, like Shrikant, he was the COO for CAMS, who's on our board also, and and the whole team, VLK, Sridhar, all of them have been really instrumental in our journey over the last year and a half. They've brought in so much of their experience, and the learnings have been really splendid, right? And before that, again, we had NB Ventures and Nilesh. We've got a great personal rapport with him, and his insights also to the business were really really helpful in helping carve the way and help us to get here. So yeah, so I think it's investors. It was for us. It was not just the money, but it was also what other value they could bring. And I think that in both these cases, it was really good. Ankita.
And how much capital have you raised so far?
$7 million.
$7 million. That's quite a number. Hey, tell us something about your co-founder also, Mr. Sanjeev Menon. So what's his background like?
Oh yeah, Sanjeev. He's got the actually super exciting background. We both did our engineering in the same college town. Post which he came to Mumbai to Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, where he worked for a year, and he learned his initial exposure to natural language processing, and everything was in those days. After that, he went to do his masters in Florida, where apart from his masters, he also had a very good time. And then he also he worked with a few startups there, and then he set up his first startup called NetYantra. NetYantra was this VoIP solution for for call centers and for telecom carriers, so that they could give hosted PPBX solutions just out of a single line. You didn't need to have hardware for it and everything. So it was a great breakthrough in those days. When you could run call centers out of CPUs, thanks to his technology, and you didn't need those expensive equipments and machineries that were required from a call center point of view. So yeah, and he took an exit from that in 2008 9, and he was trying a bunch of crazy stuff. That's when I reconnected with him, and then we got together and we thought, okay, what's the next crazy thing we can do?
Well, I think you both have had quite a dynamic career journey so far. So are you both also looking to raise any more funding at present?
Yes, Ankita, we are actually in the middle of a $10 million raise. To, like I said, to help us scale from here to a revenue of around $50 million in the next 4 years.
Awesome. And besides the two of you, what is your current team strength? Like, walk me through your entire team structure and how are the roles divided?
So, Ankita, we are a team of 90 people. All of us are engineers by mindset, even the sales guys. We've got around 15 in sales, 30 in product, 20 in operations, a bunch of around 10, 12 interns. Then we've got the admin and support staff like HR, etc. So that's the total breakup. Most of our guys in product, I mean, not most. So when we started off in 2012, we were around eight of us.
Mm.
And yeah, out of those eight, six of us are still there, as a group together, and we're only growing that clan with every new hire.
So in total, you are around 90 people, you said. And are there any key roles that you are currently on the lookout for?
Yeah, lots of key roles. We're looking for some folks in sales. We're also looking for a chief growth officer out of the US. We're also looking for a chief a COO or a chief of staff, something like that. Basically, somebody to hold the processes and the entire operations of the company. Yeah,
Hmm.
those are some of the key roles that we're still looking.
So, Animesh, what's on the horizon next? Like, what are you most looking forward to in the next year of your operations? Maybe in the next 12 months, I would say.
So scaling, we're looking, of course, to get a few more marquee customers, both in Europe, in UK, and in the US, and then of course continue attraction.
Mm.
We're adding around 3 to 5 logos every month. Yeah, I think that's it.
Something. So, if I ask you to look back on your journey from completing engineering to becoming a mastermind behind such an innovative platform, what would you say are the top three things that have contributed to your success?
The first is the of course the partnership, the companionship, the partnership of Sanjeev and my partner. I mean, we are all all the people that have come into my life that have made this happen. So of course it's the people, number one. and the team that we have. So it's people is the number one contributor that has got us all here together. Um, the second would be, uh, our never say die spirit.
Hmm.
There have been times when Sanjeev and I we sit and we see that okay, we might be running out of money, and what are the calls we need to take, and what is the things that we need to do, and then we tell each other it's not today, right? We are not. It's not today's not the day, right? Cool. And the third would be our ability to learn from every failure, or everything that we feel that we drop the ball, to learn and then innovate. And I think again, as a startup, that's a beautiful
Yeah.
opportunity that we have to reinvent ourselves based on those learnings.
Animesh, it's been a pleasure. Is there anything else that you'd like to share? I mean, we have plans to promote this video to large enterprises, investors, tech giants, and a broader ecosystem. So, if there's anything specific that you'd like to mention that could help you find any external assistance that you require, please let us know.
So yeah, Ankita. So like I said, we believe and everything is pointing in the direction that as enterprises we have to become intelligent. As humans we have to move up the value chain. So these are two things that are happening around the world, and we welcome one and all to come and try out the E42 platform, because it's a great platform where you can build your own AI coworker.
Hmm.
It's a no code platform. It's very easy to build, and for enterprises and startups, we've got amazing opportunity for you to come and explore the platform. So to get in touch, and we can hopefully work together and build fantastic AI coworkers.
Well, as we near the end, here's a question that might intrigue some. Animesh, tell us, does building one AI coworker at a time means taking the job of one human coworker at a time? What do you think? What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, so definitely, of course, it means taking the job of one human coworker, but then that human typically would not be a work that human goes to schools studying and thinking that that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to process invoices every day for the rest of my life. So it's definitely not those kind of jobs. But having said that, it also means empowering humans, because let's say that you wanted to be in the finance department, you didn't want to actually enter data from invoices into another book, right? You wanted to do much more. And I think that's the opportunity that when you hire E42 co-workers brings, that whatever you're doing, you can give the regular part to the AI coworker, and you can do the fun part. So if you're in sales, you build an AI BD executive that will sit on your website, engage your customers, do all your communications for you. And as a salesperson, you'll do what you love most, which is show up in front of your for front of your customers and make that sale. So I think yeah, it's again part of a much beautiful world where humans will be doing what they love to do, rather than what they are forced to do.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, so let's jump on to our last concluding round. It's a quick rapid fire round, Animesh. So, 5 questions. Are you ready?
Okay.
So, question one, a book that you would recommend to the youth that has greatly influenced your career journey.
Yeah. If it's career journey, then it would be Don't Split the Difference. Otherwise, it would be Sapiens.
Which productivity tool or app do you find most helpful in your daily work?
Teams.
A fun fact about you that most people don't know.
I'm a national level swimmer.
What? Oh my God. You should have said that in your introduction, Animesh. So, what is your favorite quote that you live by?
The wonders of today were once dreams of crazy people. The grander the wonder, the crazier its dreamer.
What is one piece of advice for the young audience watching this?
Love what you do what you love. Always.
So, before I let you go, I'm going to ask you, Animesh, how are you? How are you feeling?
Good, good. How are you, Ankita? How are you feeling? How is
I'm
it?
good. I hope this was worthy of your time. Thank you so much. And I want you to make a
Thank
wish for your startup that you hope comes true in the near future.
We celebrate our 50th anniversary in 40 years from now.
You will, and I hope I am invited. Here's to
Great.
E42.ai transforming one enterprise at a time. All the very best, Animesh. And I hope we meet soon again to discuss the next best thing that's going to happen at E42. So if you'd like to stay updated with the latest developments and business insights from E42.ai, make sure to follow their channel on follow.us/startup. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next conversation.